Hi and welcome. A friend bought a used bicycle relatively cheaply and it was not in a very good condition, so the song by Bob Dylan, Everything is Broken, came to mind. But I decided to get it into a rideable condition, and I managed to fix most of the problems, the show-stopping problems at least, apart from this rear wheel, and I wanted to open it, see what's going on and make a video. If I manage to fix it, or at least to find the problem, maybe it will be helpful. So I will not be like Tom Reasonable. I will not make compromise on this and just suggest a new wheel, but I will be like Tom Petty and I won't back down. So let us begin. Here we have the rear wheel. I've already taken it off the bicycle and I've taken off the cassette. I will not be showing that in this video because I already have videos showing how to remove and mount a wheel on a bicycle and how to dismount cassettes. So here we have the next phase, and I need to remove the brake first. In order to do that, I need to unscrew this bolt. And to keep the axle in place, I can either, because here I cannot access both the bolt and the lock nut, both the nut and the lock nut, sorry, the cone nut and the lock nut at the same time, so it's risky to use this. That's generally speaking the case. So I can either screw in two nuts here and use them as lock nuts to hold one side of the axle and then unscrew from this side, or I can use a tool like this. This is an aluminium axle vise, if that's the right name in English, and this is intended to be used for operations like this one. So I have different diameters here so that I can clamp it without damaging the threads, because this is soft aluminum, it's not steel, and so I can hold it in place while I'm working on it. It also can make things like preload adjustment when I'm done with servicing a bit simpler and easier, because it holds it without rotation. So first thing to do is to measure the diameter of the axle. So here we should expect 10 millimeters. This is the rear wheel. This is not a hollow axle, it's full axle, and yes, this is basically 10 millimeters. So that's what we will be using here, and let's put it into the hole for the 10 millimeters and try to get it snug. Okay, this is now pretty tight, it's not going anywhere, and so now I can attempt to loosen this bolt. There is a section here that is a bit damaged thread. I have already loosened this, but for the original loosening I even resorted to using an impact wrench. This is 17 millimeters, but now I can use any kind of 17 millimeter wrench to keep going once I started it. So I already worked the thread up and down this to clean the threads. They were a bit slightly sticking from small damage from the bicycle being held in an aluminum frame, but nothing major, so I didn't have to use any thread chasers, and this bolt looks to be in okay condition, so we will just keep it. I will put it the way I've unscrewed it and put it here upside down so that I know when I take it I put it back. Okay, so now I can lift this. This is the Shimano roller brake, and I might try to disassemble, clean it and lubricate it for a separate video. I already have a video about how this is serviced, but that video has no sound, so I might make a new video with sound and with explanations. So we have that. Now here we have some cones, and these are for 14 millimeters. So 13 millimeters is too small and 15 millimeters is too big. So I need a 14 millimeter cone wrench and another 14 millimeter wrench in order to unlock them, and later on when I'm assembling it to lock them down. So here, let's check this for any play. Now I can unscrew it to open the hub and see what's going on, because everything here was loose and not looking very good, not looking very promising. And so here we are. One, we have a indented section of this lock nut towards the outside, so that is something to pay attention to, and that is why I will place it and try to not mix it up. So this is the first one, then we have the brake, and then we have this. I'll put it like this so that I know I need to take it back in reverse. Okay, so here now we've come to a and remember how it was. This is a cone, so the bearings are running alongside this section, and I need to place it so that I know how to put it back and just to inspect it for any pitting or damage. I have a video about servicing cup and cone hubs, so I won't be going into many details here now. Let's see. Okay, bearing balls were stuck here, none flew out, but I will now get them all out. Use some magnet to do that. And again, I've already made videos about servicing cup and cone hubs, so I won't be bothering you with that. Just wanted to see what this looks like on the inside and to see if I can fix any problems and what to expect here. So the interesting things, let's see while we're down here. Here you can see that there was a cage here to keep the bearings all together, and what I will do is remove this plate and remove the cage so that I can pack it with loose bearing balls instead of caged ones, and see how many I can fit. And on this side no cage, but it doesn't look very promising. The bearing race, it looks like it was a bit too much rust and pitting, but we'll see. So nothing too much different from ordinary cup and cone service as far as I can see for this part. The only difference is that there is on this hub a place to keep the roller brake in place, to keep it from twisting freely. So there are these notches that slide here onto these splines, and that's the whole difference. The OG, and let's see the distance what we are dealing with here. So let's measure it. I have also a video showing how to use these calipers, and here about 28.5 millimeters, so that's where we want to get it back, 28.5. So let's write it down, 28.5. A wise man writes down, remember what I told you. axle rows. Okay, so the right hand side is shorter and the left hand side has longer threaded section with this axle. And what I am interested in checking is whether there is any bending, because when you perceive the axle like this as bent, it's actually cracked. It's just not visible, and in that case you can expect it to break completely, and it's best to replace it. So I'll put it on something flat and see if there's a section that goes higher when I roll it. Sorry about the dust. This is already getting to, let me just see what this looks like, then we'll move it for the camera. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see, but this is not too bad. This does not look like it has a small belly on any part. It's not rocking, so this is not super machinist precision, but it's flat enough for our purposes so that I can consider this axle to be in a reasonably good condition. So yeah, we'll work with this. We'll be willing to cooperate. These are Unior Hub Genie tools. They are used for a different purpose originally, but I resort to them when I wish to disassemble. And let's see if this is one piece. This can be removed. Okay, so this is for the left hand side of the hub, and I plan to put some loose ball bearings. I don't intend to keep the cage. Probably just 7 balls, and I want to fit 9 ideally, and without those separators I might be able to do just that. We shall see. The Hub Genie, here it is. Wonderful. When it works like a charm. So do that. We have it says exotics here. Let's see if memory is still working. Okay, so here we have this. I made a video about how this tool is made, and now we want to unscrew this little thing, the bearing race, to clean and inspect the Freehub mechanism. Nothing to lose here, it's already bad. And if my friend gets angry for destroying his bad wheel, we'll see. I still run surprisingly fast. Okay, so screwing in counter reverse thread, so I need to put this here, and let's see how lucky we are. Okay, I think we've started. Yes, good. I also make a review of that tool I just used. It's pretty nice, pretty handy. Okay, I think I've unscrewed this so I can remove it, and let's see if it will go. Okay, so here it is, and it's not looking very nice. All inside, I'll put it back on. Okay, let's see what would be the easiest way to do it. Just a second. So Okay. I can move it now. Okay, now I want to unscrew this Freehub, and for that I will need a 10 millimeter or similar 10 millimeter hex, most probably. Let's see if it will move, and that is a standard left-handed thread. So let's see. Okay, does this move? Still not moving. Okay. Very, very badly stuck. Don't disappoint me now. Don't give up on me. Not going anywhere. Okay. Pulling out the big guns. Okay, let's see. So this should be a standard thread. Let's see, something broke. Hopefully it's not my elbow. Okay, loosened it. So this will go as a minus for this tool. Big minus. My first disappointment from it. So, okay. I've used it with good results on bottom brackets. So, this one was pretty badly stuck. That's true, but still. I was expecting that tool to work for unscrewing at least. Okay, so we have this little plastic washer here and these threads. So that's the right hand side. So we have also that part from there. And this is our Freehub mechanism. Assembled it 24 millimeters. Let's see where I can put it. Here 25, something like that. Okay, just to hold it in place. Now back to this. This is reverse thread. I will remove this and I will put this here to hopefully catch any bearing balls that might go running away. Okay. So we have this part. Some pitting on it as well, so it's all not very good, but for flat city riding and short commuting in my city, hopefully it will be acceptable and it will last for at least a certain amount of time. So let's 1 million small bearing balls, and if I remove them it will get very tricky to put it all back together, all this, and it's a very frustrating and unrewarding endeavor. So we have this section and we have a section over here, a lot of old oil and dirt, and so there we are, 1 million minions, small bearing balls here, and there we are. It's full of stars. So there we are. That's one side with 1 million bearing balls. Okay. And we have the other side here with the second million bearing balls, and we will need to put all that back together. So it will be very dynamic. Let's try and separate them. Okay. This is the outer section, and up there we have the inner section. Okay. So okay, they are all here, and disassemble this. So we're pulling this out, and here we have the roller bearings. Now we have 1 million roller bearings that we also need to clean. And we have this. Okay. Wonderful. This was on the inside when this was inserted in. This part was on the inside there. And I will try to clean it. And the quick and dirty way to do that is to use the brake cleaner. So that should get it done. It's probably the most expensive way to do it, but it's quick. Just showing how to disassemble and reassemble this. Okay, let's get this off. Let's try to get this off. So this was in this groove, and that's about it. So that looks okay. We'll put it back in, and so now, and the whole assembly is very time consuming and tedious and tricky, so we need to put a lot of grease here and put all the bearing balls in place. So I hope I got this aligned well enough to not cause any problems, because if I didn't, it will be very tricky. And now for these rollers that go inside, opa, okay, they did not move, good luck. So for these rollers that go inside, I need to put them all in place. Internal gear hubs, and I think that for our use case here, that grease will be just right, not too thick, not too thin. not too hard. So, okay, so there is a small notch here. I hope you can see it on the outside, right here, right here. Okay, so that notch is not present on the opposite side as far as I can tell, and that little spring, this notch is right fit for it. There we have it. Now I need to place this on top, and bearing balls are all here, and we've lost only one roller bearing. Okay, so now I can try and insert this. Okay, and here we are, it's in. Make sure it's all the way in, and I can back pedal normally and it engages for forward pedaling. And now I need to get those bearing balls down there into the groove, like Madonna says. Get into the groove. Okay, more or less looking good, looking fine. Bit of grease here, and try to screw it back without messing anything up. So when I try to turn this clockwise, I should hear it click. It's a reverse thread, and then I should be able to screw it in counterclockwise. Let's see. Okay, this is still quite smooth. Okay, now to tighten it. Let's put it here. Okay, so make sure that I've aligned it. Okay, so counterclockwise. Now I want to keep it short, do not over tighten it. It is designed, the thread's direction, so that it will keep self-tightening as you're using it. So not going crazy on the torque and double checking. Okay, it's looking good. This tool has served its purpose for today, and hopefully this one too. Okay, now we have this little thingy, and we need to put this back into the wheel, and then we will mount the bearing balls and everything that needs to be done. So let's start with a liberal amount of anti-seize paste and use some for the inside here. In theory, only one side is more than enough, but in this case I've decided to risk it. Okay, so this little thing was there inside of that groove. It aligns there nicely, so I can put this in and start screwing it in. It is a standard thread. We need 10mm hex or Allen. So where did I put it? Where did I put it? Here it is. Doesn't want to call. Okay. This too will self-tighten as you are riding, so no need to go crazy on the torque. because you will tighten it like crazy when you start pedaling. So, okay, but I didn't want to slack it. Okay, so we've cleaned it, lubricated it, and it's all been for nothing because there is a lot of pitting and it will probably not last too long, but I was interested in opening it and seeing what it looks like and cleaning it, and now we can do the standard basic cup and cone hub overhaul that I've already done in a video, so no need to record that section. Thanks for watching. Stay cool. Do try this at home. You do not have to be a trained professional to fix your own bicycle. Just use common sense, caution, pay more attention to what you're doing, take photos, recordings, and take it easy. It is normal to go wrong, to get confused, to mix things up. It happens. No, only those who never do any work can never make any mistakes, and figuring it out is also very rewarding, and it feels good even if you fail, and you will fail. If you at least figure out what you did wrong and what the mistake is and how to be more careful in the future, it's still a net plus, so to speak. So that's some tips if it's of any help. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, additions, corrections, please use the BikeGremlin.net forum. YouTube is awful with comments, and I do my best to use forum only for any discussions. Thank you all the good people who support my work via Patreon. I truly appreciate that. It means a lot as a sort of how do I say, good energy and appreciation, and it also helps in terms of getting tools and hopefully a better camera in the hopefully near future. So highly appreciate it. Hope it will help me make more videos of higher quality, both if possible. And that's it. See you in some other video. Cheers. Stay cool.
Выключи, хочешь?